Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Brashley. This is my special guest Kyle. Brad's away in Hawaii. Today we're going to do a meal prep edition, a breakfast meal prep edition, and we're going to be making an egg quiche.
Yummy. I don't know how to cook, but I'm just going to sit around and hang out and hopefully teach a few things. But today we're going to learn why you should be eating fats and why they're good for you. We're going to learn how to choose the right eggs, and we're going to learn how to cook fatty foods or foods that are high in protein as well without ruining all the nutrients.
So what we're going to use to cook this is I have some pastured eggs here. I have some organic bacon, some grass-fed butter, unsalted, an onion that actually came from the Niagara Peninsula farm, some organic spinach.
Fun fact, Ash likes to eat onions just raw, like she'll just bite it like an apple.
So we're not going to use the whole thing because I'm going to need some later. I got 2 Thai chilies, so like it's spicy too, and some garlic and red pepper. So first things first, we're going to bake the bacon. We're going to bake the bacon. So opposed to putting it in a pan, I'm going to actually put this in the oven for about 20 minutes until I like it very, very crispy. You can put it in for as long as you would like, just make sure it's cooked because that would be gross. So.
Okay, so you may be, while she's doing that, we're going to talk a little bit about fats. You may be a little concerned here because we've got eggs, we've got bacon, it's a lot of fat, and a lot of people think that fats are bad for you. There was a low fat craze and no fat craze in the 90s and the early 2000s. Turns out that was all a lie and there's no research to support that. Fat is actually good for you, believe it or not. Yay! Now, the reason for that, I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, but one of the things is that fat has an abundance of energy in it, okay? But it digests slowly, so it doesn't spike your insulin levels like sugar or carbohydrates will. So this is very good for you. The other thing is that your brain is made 65% of fat. A lot of the hormones that you produce are made out of fat. So fat has so many functions in the body that we need it for. The other thing is every single cell in your body has a membrane that's made out of fat. So you need fats, and not just, you got saturated fats, you got cholesterol fats, which most people think are bad. Those are actually good for you. They transport nutrients to your cells. They do so many wonderful things in the body, so do not be afraid of fats anymore. Let's eat lots of fats.
Woo! Fats! So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna saute the vegetables. You can eat them raw if you want. I mean, we're gonna put this whole thing in the oven later. But what I like to do is saute them a little bit with a clove of garlic and some butter. And then when they get a little bit, like I guess al dente, then I'm gonna put them in with the egg mixture.
Al dente.
So I'm gonna move the eggs here.
By the way, if you want to learn why you should chop your garlic or mince your garlic, click on the video that Miguel's gonna put up there. Or down there, I don't know where it goes.
Or in the space. Who knows what's
somewhere
happening.
in the digital world of the internet.
So I'm just gonna use a clove. Chop my finger off. Gotta toss it that pan over here. Maybe just put it here. I'll just toss everything in it. Okay. So we're just gonna do that.
Some butter or something?
Yeah, so if you can grab your sous chef. That needs some butter. I'm just gonna put that in. Like I said, I enjoy a raw onion from time to time. So we're not gonna eat the whole thing of this one. Because I'm probably gonna eat it later.
I like onion, but I'm not gonna eat it raw like that.
I'm just gonna chop this up. I like to saute my peppers so that they're still a little bit firm. Onion though, however, you don't want to caramelize it, but these kinds of onions will go a little bit translucent when you put them a little bit in the butter, and the aroma with the garlic is really awesome. Okay, so then I've got my red pepper. Oh, do you want to demonstrate the proper way that you would like to cut a pepper? Because I'm not going to cut it the right way.
Oh, here we go. You guys ready for this one? Let's get it over here. Okay, so I mean you can chop it like everyone else does. That's garbage. Let's just do this where all the seeds and everything is just gone real quick. Chop that. Chop the other side. Need a different knife for this, but just cut it. No, it's okay. And just go along it like this. And a couple little slices, and boom, look at that. There's no seeds.
Whoa.
And then you can do whatever you want with it from there.
Perfect.
The rest is you.
Oh, thank you. So I'm just gonna do the same with the pepper. I'm just gonna slice it, and because the quiche, you want tiny pieces, so every bite that you want to have something in it. If you cut the pepper too big, you're gonna run out of pepper, and it's just gonna be eggs. And what fun is that?
No, it's not fun at all.
So I'm just.
By the way, this is the perfect meal to. Hey, give it to me, not the dog.
Well, it's got a little.
Perfect meal to cook to take to work. So you can make a bunch on Sunday, and you can bring it with you every day for work, for breakfast if you're a little bit busy in the morning. And then just fix yourself up a salad for lunch, and you've got your meals for the week. You need this?
Yeah. We're gonna use spinach. Just gonna grab a handful of spinach. So again, like these measurements are to my liking. You might want more spinach. You might want more red peppers. You might want more onion. This is just kind of the perfect amount of all three for me. You're impressed with my chopping skills.
I'm just gonna say I've seen your chopping skills on the YouTube show. To see it live is just a wonderful thing. Damn.
Chop it out. It's very prosthetic. Good for their face.
You know what else is good for you? Glass of red wine.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna toss this in the pan too.
It's hot. Literally.
Sure, it's everywhere. Spinach is everywhere. Okay, so last thing we're gonna add into it are some Thai chilies. So, if you watch these episodes, you know that I like it spicy. Originally, I wanted to do this with jalapenos. Jalapenos are a little bit of a tricky pepper. You don't know necessarily if they're going to be spicy. I really wanted some spice. So when you buy Thai chilies, they're like, a jalapeno would be like a mild pepper. A Thai chili is like up here. But guess what? It's gonna get your serotonin levels up and your metabolism going. So,
if you want to know more about why spicy foods are good for you, Ash wrote a blog a few weeks ago, and we will put it in the show notes down there. Have a look-see.
So I'm just gonna chop these seeds and all.
How is that?
It's like if you eat it raw, it's hot.
Okay.
But like we're gonna cook it. I had them the other night in a different dish. The thing to keep in mind with these hot peppers, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's so hot, like our friend T-Gal, who can't handle the spice. This isn't something that's gonna hit your tongue and you're immediately gonna want like a glass of water, which don't ever do that. You should drink milk, it eases the pain.
Don't drink milk ever.
Either way. This is just gonna give you a nice, like, I don't even know how to say it. Like you put it in your mouth and then your whole body just feels warm. It's not gonna burn your tongue.
It's like sitting in a sauna.
Yeah. So we're just gonna put these in, again, seeds and all. If you don't want the seeds, don't use a Thai chili because they're so tiny, like it's impossible not to get the seeds there. There you go. And make sure whatever you do, if you touch a Thai chili, wash your freaking hands after. You're gonna touch your eye or touch someone else's eye. It's not gonna be good.
I think my dad did that in Mexico, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty bad.
So, did you flip the bacon?
I haven't flipped the bacon.
Okay, so we're gonna give her a flip.
Where's your, that?
While I drink wine.
So,
Watch your face. Watch your catch.
let me talk about when you're cooking bacon. First of all, I don't know if we talked about the kind of bacon that we chose. Did we? It's organic bacon. You want to make sure you look at the ingredients and make sure that it's sugar-free, nitrate-free, and antibiotic-free.
Sulfite-free.
Sulfite-free as well if you can find it. Pasture-raised pigs are the best. Bacon is actually fairly good for you. It's not something you want to eat every single day, but it's something that you can eat in moderation. Now, when you're cooking foods that are high in fat or high in protein, you want to make sure to cook them on low heat. That's why we are baking it rather than frying it. The reason for that is, come on, flip over. When you put fats into high heat, it oxidizes the fat, which basically changes the structure of the molecule and it makes it unstable. It makes it unstable.
Sorry.
So when you consume that fat and it's unstable, you end up using that for the membrane of your cells, but you have kind of an ineffective piece of fat that's making up the membrane of your cell. So now you have things that are getting in and out of the cell that shouldn't be, and that cell becomes dysfunctional or may die. So you want to cook it on low heat. Same with protein. If it's a food that's high in protein, if you cook it on high heat, it'll denature the protein, which can actually then turn into carcinogens, which are toxic and cancer-causing the body. So keep it low, don't burn it, don't let it char, like blacken or brown. It's on an angle, but I'm good.
So this, I'm just gonna bring this over to the
Looks
camera.
awesome.
So there's a lot of good flavors. The other way you can kind of tell, don't breathe in the steam from the chilies.
Cleans the nostrils right out.
Yeah. So the way you can kind of tell is you can kind of see when you're cooking peppers retain a little bit of water. So when you're cooking them, you can kind of tell that they're starting to cook because they become a little bit more translucent here, and then the pan itself will have a little bit more liquid in it. So same with spinach. Spinach is like, you can tell here, it's getting a little bit, what's the word? It's not slimy. Soft. It's getting soft. And then the onions, again, you can see when your onions are done, they become translucent. So this is pretty much good to go here. So I'm going to turn this down, or turn it off.
Oh, turn it right off.
Yeah. And we're going to do the eggs.
Ooh, eggs, yummy. Need those?
Do you want to tell them about the eggs?
Yeah, so when you go to the grocery store, you're gonna see a million different types of eggs. And so trying to decide on which one is the best one can be quite difficult. Some of it will depend on your budget because they can get quite expensive. But conventionally farmed eggs are very low in the nutrients that they should have because they're fed grains, which are usually GMO. They have corn and soy and a bunch of crap in it. The chickens are usually held in cages inside of a barn. They never see a day of light. They're squished in with a bunch of other chickens, sitting on each other's feces. It's absolutely disgusting.
You're not living your best life.
They're not living their best life. So you don't want conventionally raised eggs as much as possible. Try not to get them. We don't want to support that type of farming. So when you're deciding on what type of eggs to get, there's two things you want to look into. Two, not four. Two things you want to look into. What do they eat and how are they raised? Okay, so we'll look at what they eat. Is it going to be grains? If not, then you want to go for organic. So at least the grains may be organic. Or you want grass-fed or pasture-raised where they're eating things like grass and insects and worms and seeds and whatever the heck else they can find around outside. The next is how are they raised? So there's free run, there's free range, and there's pasture raised. And then there's conventionally farmed. So free run means that they are allowed out in a barn, but they don't necessarily see any sunlight, but they're allowed out of their cage. Free range means that they're allowed to kind of roam around outside. They may be outside all the time, may not be. And then pasture raised means that they're just allowed to live outside, living their best life, eating all their seeds and insects and everything they love. Those are the healthiest. Those are going to give you the most vitamins and minerals and all the good nutrients. So if you can afford pasture raised, go with that. If not, at least go maybe free range and organic.
All right, so
Sous chef, I'm gonna ask you to take just a little bit.
Just a little bit of butter?
A little bit of butter, and we're gonna grease this sheet. If you don't grease the sheet, it's not gonna come out. So
you can also use what's it called, a cupcake tin thing.
Yeah. So the other thing is there's you'll see all these recipes for egg cups. So you can use a cupcake tin. However, they're hard unless you're really greasing it, or unless your tin is brand spanking new. Chances are it's going to stick in there, and it's very, very difficult to get out. So we're just going to use this little casserole dish here. I'm just going to crack it lacking. So we're going to take our sautéed vegetables and we're going to just dump them in. Like so.
If you're going to use hot sauce, look at the ingredients. Frank's Red Hot and things like that, they don't have any sugar in it, so they're really good.
Well, I have one.
But you may find some hot sauces that have a bunch of just crap in it, so like sugar or additives and things like that. Make sure it doesn't have any of that. Frank's Red Hot is good.
The other thing is there's a lot of people use sriracha. Your conventional sriracha does have quite a bit of sugar per, I think, teaspoon it is. I don't know if I have any in my fridge here, but there's another type.
You have 20 different types of hot sauces.
So this, which is the other type of sriracha with garlic in it and chilies. If you're craving that sriracha taste, use this. It has like no sugar in it.
What's it called?
It's just like the sriracha chili, ground fresh chili paste.
Cool. Sweet deal.
Okay, so we're gonna wait for the bacon. We're waiting for the bacon now.
I haven't looked at it for a while, have you?
I did.
Okay.
So, be back in a jiffy.
Alright, so the bacon's done. So I'm going to get my assistant here to hold this.
Okay.
While I pluck it.
Pluck bacon?
Yes.
Is that what we call it?
I don't know what I call it.
God, it looks so good.
Kyle salvage.
If you want, you can just skip the whole quiche thing and just eat the bacon right now.
Pieces. Okay, so okay, so we're just gonna chop it up here. Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You just want to chop it into like kind of little pieces.
Let's grab a little bit more wine
Yes,
for the rest
wine
of the
me,
show.
sir.
What are
Not
we
red.
getting first?
Also, just fun fact of the day, second fun fact, we're drinking organic wine. It has a little bit less sugar content, and it's tasty. There's a whole organic wine section for you to explore. You can only explore.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah, there should be there.
One for you.
Thank you. Danke. It's 2 languages in one show.
And one for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my bacon and toss it like so. Now we have everything in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna whisk it. I'm gonna whisk it.
I'm a whisker.
So it's essentially like the same thing you would be doing if you were scrambling eggs, for example. So, you know, you want to make sure that all the yolks are broken, it's got a nice yellow color, and all the ingredients are mixed. So after doing that, yeah, that's pretty good. Now, we're going to take our greased pan, and we're going to
Hot sauce?
maybe you want to put it in.
You got some thanks.
Oh, but we'll see in a bit.
No quiche for you to get. A little bit of hot sauce.
So I'm just gonna mix that up so it's distributed. And then we're gonna bake at 350. Timing basically depends on, you're gonna notice it's gonna start to rise a little bit. The egg is going to get, I guess, like you would when you're cooking regular eggs, like scrambled eggs, they're gonna get really firm. You can cook it a little bit longer until it gets brown on the top if you want. If you haven't cooked your vegetables, we've cooked ours, so we're not going to do that. Another great addition to this, which we're not going to do because I ate a lot of cheese today already, is you can sprinkle cheese on the top, or you could mix cheese in to give it a little bit more of a cheesy texture. So this is going to go in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then we'll be back and we're going to eat it.
Right in front of you.
So we're back. The quiche is done. So it took about, I would say, like 20-25 minutes. Again, you just want to make sure that it's all cooked here. So I'm just going to plate this. So what you're going to do for a meal prep, you're just going to want to like cut it in like squares, right? You're going to bring a square to your work. Kyle,
Yes?
can you go in my drawer and pass me something to get it out?
Yes, I can, madam.
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna need at least 3 of those. At least.
A couple out here. Alright, so that's basically it. And so you're gonna refrigerate these. I wouldn't freeze them, as I find when you freeze certain things, especially fresh vegetables, they kind of wither a little bit. But you can eat it fresh, and then you can take it to work, put it in the fridge and Tupperware, and you're all set.
Yummy.
Bon appetit!
Kiki, you know me. Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. 'Cause I want you, and I need you. And I'm down for you always.